Do that.
How the years I worked in, that big rock.
How they, it's weird. It really is. I hope that some of it, either me or them, they don't get in trouble.
Well, it'll be you, 'cause,
Yeah, it's my account.
yeah.
I didn't send it there. They did.
That's frustrating.
That is. I'm gonna talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's it.
Yeah.
I don't,
I was pushing the
you don't do those that
I mean, but they,
when you go up the hill.
They give pass.
Across the river and go up on 350 and you go up the hill. That hill keeps immediately to the left as you're going south. That's the river.
All right, I've got 10:01, we'll go ahead and call this meeting. Heavenly Father, we come before you today to do the county's business, and we've got quite a bit of it. We ask that you guide our hand and guide our decisions when we make these decisions. I ask that you be with those that are traveling today. I know there are some that are out moving around. I ask that you be with those that are sick. Protect those that protect us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag, pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
I apologize for my tardiness. I had a meeting that ran just a little longer than I expected. Okay, at this time, any person with business before the court not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the court. No formal action can be taken on these items at this meeting. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Okay. Presentation and discussion of department head, committee, and board reports. So, I don't know if anybody wanted to discuss any of these. I did want to point out the youth center numbers. Excuse me. After school program, 100 members, number of meals provided, 853. That's a lot of meals. So they're doing some good. They started construction on the indoor batting cages. They're painting the walls first and soon start laying the turf down and finish the cages. They're bringing back T-ball to the center just in time to utilize the batting cages, which I didn't, when we were talking to her, hadn't realized that we didn't do T-ball anymore, so I'm glad to see that that's back. That lays a good foundation. Updating the classrooms. And,
she's using volunteer.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Batting cages was donated, correct?
Correct.
Well,
Correct, that was all donated. And they're planning their annual Easter egg hunt in April, so that's exciting stuff.
Great job.
Any discussion on any of the others? And they're all doing a great job, I just wanted to point those things out, everybody is doing really good. Okay, any of the department heads that are here want to discuss anything that y'all have going on? Okay. For discuss and consider action to be on the following, consider approval of previous court minutes. Did I miss anything? No.
didn't see anything.
Me neither.
In that case, I'm not going to approve the previous court minutes.
All in favor? Court to discuss, consider interprecinct project schedule and staffing.
We do have something coming up
Okay.
that we all need to be aware of and be ready for, and that is they're going to have a rodeo back into the Coliseum. They're going to put dirt in March 9 and 10, or March 9 or 10. And so we can get our foremen, so all get together and make plans for that. We have, there's so many new folks out in the precincts that we do have pictures and numbers for how these chutes actually do go into the arena. And we have some older guys that have been there and done that lots of times, like Danny Martinez. He's really good and knows exactly how everything goes. Ted Morales has been there a lot. He's running the motor grader inside the Coliseum, and it's a pretty good job. And so we just want to get ready for that and get it done.
We're just waiting on the rain.
Yes.
Well,
Absolutely.
while y'all are waiting on rain,
What did I? Sorry.
I think I told y'all, I don't remember, TxDOT has agreed to donate more millings for the trail all the way around. However, they're in Fisher County. Would any of y'all be willing to pick them up and bring them over?
How's it looking about? I wonder if we're at in Fisher.
She told me, I don't know exactly. I can get back to you on where.
Or I can add, we can ask her.
John Bill 180 somewhere.
Yeah,
I would assume, but I haven't, I've been down to Hobbs and I haven't seen anyone on the side. Must be further. Are they?
you almost got there from Hobbs.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Almost.
If there was that, that's $20.
$4 round trip, that's a long way.
Yeah, but it's donated materials.
But the problem is the diesel,
I understand.
nearly $4 a gallon
I understand. Okay.
now. Okay,
Moving on, vote to consider accepting donations to county entities. We've got the senior center, 750 and 850.
Judge, I make a motion that we accept the donations.
And then the one day that I would use my pocket knife to open bids, I left it at the house. So, court consider bids on fuel, oil and grease, gravel, asphalt, scrap metal, and iron. All, and I'm just gonna share the wealth here.
Well, Alicia probably been out for a while.
I don't
Got a
care
better
about
offer. There was no bid from Samuel. Well,
Instead be better than that.
You don't want to lose my partner.
No, I don't.
Trying to make sure extra good.
can't blame you for trying.
No. Okay. So we'll do that.
That's right.
I don't need to.
I'm looking at it, I'll go through it. Bill, do you have your pencil sharpened for all these numbers that you're going to get?
Well, I just need the names of the companies, I can get those later. If that's all right.
Does anybody still use pencils?
I do.
I do.
Yes, sir.
You don't make mistakes.
I make lots of mistakes.
That's what I do.
I'll go ahead and get started. From R.E. James Gravel Company, or you want to go through all these numbers? Seal coat gravel, material type grade A, grade 3, no bid. So that's all saying no bid on that one. R.E. Jane, type A, grade 4, no bid. R.E. James, type A, grade 5, $18.75 a ton from Billmore, $12 a ton from Slayton. All four precincts. Same company, R.E. James, type A, grade 4, 62. None from Billmore, from Merkel, $19.50 a ton. Slayton is $15.75 a ton. Noble's Material, flexible base freight, and flexible base. The flexible base is $7.50 a ton. The freight is 29 cents a mile per ton. I believe that's right. 29 cents /mile/ton. So, who's this one? There's seal coat, asphalt. See the name here. From Wright Asphalt. Product is CSS 1H 225 a gallon. Outgoing freight is 2.268. Delivered price per gallon is 2.518. AC5. Material price is 305. Outgoing freight is 2.273. Delivered price is 3.323. That's out Brownwood. They both out of Brownwood. All this looks like it's out of Brownwood. AC10, $3 for the material, 0.273 for outgoing freight. Delivered price is 3.273 per gallon. CHFRS 2P, material price is $2.50. Outgoing freight is 0.268. Delivered price is $2.768. CRS 2.25 per gallon, 0.268 is the freight, $2.05.18. CSS 1H, 30% product, 70% dilute, $1 for material per gallon, $2.68 for outgoing freight. Delivered price is $2.68. Material price for TR Fog is $2.50. Outgoing freight is $2.73. Delivered price is $2.773. It's all at Brownwood. P2 emulsions, prime concentrate, county, $2.04 a gallon. FOB plant is $1.79 a gallon. P2 ROC, FOB county, $2.82 a gallon, and $2.57 for the FOB plant. 225,000 gallons of P2 CWE-2, $2.99 a gallon, $672,750. 225,000 gallons of P2 CWE-2 is $2.74 a gallon at $616,500. P2 stabilizer. You want me to go through all of these numbers? 244 FOB plant, 269 county, drum total is 264. P2 S1, 244, 269, 264. CWE2, 274, 299, 294. P2 CWP, 274, 299, 294. P2 Rock, 257, 282, 277. P2 Rejuvenators, 244, 269, 264 for the drum. P2 Prime Concentrate, $1.79, 204, 199. P2 RTU, 175, $2 and $1.95. And I hope y'all know what these mean. This one is Ergon Emulsion CRS 245 a gallon FOB Lubbock plant, 262 a gallon delivered. CHFRS 2P 268 a gallon, 285 a gallon delivered. These are all from the Lubbock plant. CRS 2P 268 a gallon, 285 a gallon delivered. CSS 1H 250 a gallon, 267 delivered. AEP 295 a gallon, 312 delivered. Fog Seal CSS 1H 4060 is $1.18 per gallon, $1.35 delivered. CSS 1H 3070 is 96 cents a gallon, $1.13 delivered. Prime Oil AEP 5050, $1.63 a gallon, $1.80 delivered. That's all those are gone. Okay. This is fuel and oil bid. Unleaded gasoline, 87 octane, refinery cost is 14 cents per gallon, 5 cents profit. Diesel, 0.16 for freight, 5 cents is their profit. Oil, motor oil is 25 per freight drum, profit from drum is $25. Oil, diesel, motor oil is $25, $5 profit. Hydraulic transmission, they're both 25 and 25. This is from Tucker Oil Company, Slayton. This one is Legacy Fuels. Unleaded gasoline is 4.04 for freight per gallon, 9 cents profit per gallon. Low sulfur diesel is 0.05 freight, 0.09 profit. Motor oil is 36, and profit per drum is 175. Oil or motor oil, diesel motor oil is 36 freight, 175 per drum profit. Oil hydraulic is $36, 175. Same with transmission, 36 and 175. This one is going to be Vulcan's Materials. Eastland Limestone, HMA aggregate grade 3, $35 from the plant, haul rate $31.95, delivered is $66.95. Grade 4, $35, $31.95, $66.95 delivered. Grade 5 is $19.25, $31.95, haul rate $51.20. Same thing. Keep moving that down. This one is from Vulcan Materials. Parmalee Quarry Limestone, A2 base, 815 FOB plant, $22.95, delivered is $31.10. Big difference between last year and this year. The number that we got. Same thing, A2 base, 815, 22 haul rate, 22.95 haul rate, 31.10. Looks like this was the last one. Snyder Iron Metal steel is 150 per ton. Number one steel. Number two steel is 150. 10 is 150. They're all 150 mixed cast iron, long iron cars. Those are bids.
Right on the construction material, which is in this pile, I would make a motion that we accept all bids that have to do with construction.
Okay.
I think on the fuel, this is the first time in, I don't know when, if ever, that we've had a choice of two different local entities that actually have the fuel here and oil here. I'd like to take some time and get some copies for each one of us and look them over and come back on the next court meeting and make a decision on those.
That's good.
Okay.
I'll second on the construction.
All in favor on the construction? And I will get you copies of both these fuel. And I can discuss that next week. I won't be here next week, but we can add this to next week's agenda. I'll lose it. Right,
I'm not necessarily asking that unless you just have an agenda for next week, we need.
there is one.
Okay.
There is one. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not asking for.
No, it's the
Abatements.
abatements.
Okay. Okay.
All right, court to consider approval of treasurer's monthly report for January 2022.
Do you have any questions for me? The cash balances for all accounts ended at 15,996,799.40.
Any questions?
Did a great job, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, do we need to accept the bids on the iron and metal? That's one.
Oh, we do.
There was only one, but I'll
Yes.
make that motion that we accept the bids on the iron and metal.
What is it? All in favor? Okay. Now,
Gravel, asphalt.
What was that?
Gravel and asphalt.
Construction, that's what we did a while ago, yeah. We just accepted all of them, right?
you want to consider approval of the monthly report?
Doesn't make a motion that we approve the treasurer's monthly report.
Second.
All in favor? Personnel information report?
We've been pretty quiet, so unless y'all have any questions. Okay,
Good job.
submit it for y'all's approval.
Make a motion we approve the treasurer's monthly personnel information report.
Second.
All in favor? Court to discuss and consider accepting Hrsa Phase 4 funding for EMS. What's going on, Jason?
Morning.
Good morning.
We need to decide whether we want to accept the Hrsa funds that we applied for, these are phase 4 funding, COVID-19 provider relief funds. There's two amounts that we're accepting, 37,876.71 and 137,665.74. And if we want to accept those funds, my recommendation is give me the legal authority to act on behalf of the county to receive these payments to the relief fund, and then take that money and keep it in text class and hold on to it and sit on it until further developments could or may arise later down the road. And so I'm not asking to necessarily spend it, I'm only asking to accept the funds. I have 5 days to accept it. So.
I think we should let him accept it, but not spend it until we know what's good.
Are there any strings attached to it that you know of?
There's always strings attached to provider relief funds.
Looks like a spider web.
So when it comes to any provider relief fund concerning the ambulance service or relief hospital, or most of the, I think all the healthcare entities in Snyder and Scurry County, we're all compliant with the COVID-19 vaccinations. We're compliant with the mandates that come down from executive orders. So there's really any other strings attached to it are really not going to affect us, I don't think. Mike's looked at it as well. I've received his counsel on it, and it is what it is. We either accept it and comply. There's always a reporting requirement to it eventually down the road, as you know. But at this time, this was kind of reversed where we submitted all of our reporting information already. And then they said, okay, now you can get these funds because of the information that you submitted. So any information that we would give to Hrsa would be how we actually spent the money. So they already have our information. It's just basically a budget on how we spent the money. And I don't advise us to spend it. I'm in agreement with Sean that we would accept it and just kind of hang on to it for the remaining of the year and kind of see where it goes.
And they, as far as medically, they, if they don't comply with federal requirements, they lose Medicaid funds. They follow all of the guidelines very well.
Second motion is that we accept. And
Two cents. You can have it.
Go ahead.
You did get it seconded.
make a motion that we accept the monies and set them aside.
And give me the legal authority to.
And give you the legal
Okay.
authority to, yeah, deal with it.
All in favor? All right, so discuss and consider approval of Connolly Company's 2021 engagement letter. 2021, 2022?
It's the audit for 2021.
Okay.
No, we don't have a choice.
My question is, Connolly Company's 2021 January.
Second.
There's always a choice, just there's a wise choice. All in favor?
You don't trust me, man. It's just, yeah.
When's the last time that we went out to bid something?
Not since I've been here.
Been a long time.
What we do?
I was asking when the last time we went out for bid.
Oh, my goodness, not since I've been here.
Not since I was here, ever.
No. And I'm not, it wouldn't be, it'd be proposals, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's whenever you have decided that they're not doing an adequate job. And they deal mostly with
I
Angela.
don't have any complaints about them, so
Yeah.
I don't know why I would want to change them right now.
It's not necessarily anything, I don't have anything against Conley, because I
Dealt with them.
dealt with them myself and they've always been good. It's just that sometimes when, you know yourself, when you do something for so many
If they
years.
change so many people, they're not the same people doing it
They're not.
every time. I mean, Tara, this will be her third year, but they bring them straight out and then the next year they're gone. It's somebody new coming in. They have like their team leader who has been the one there. But the other people coming to perform the audit are new almost every single time.
What about your team leaders? Are they the same?
Tara has been, and then Aaron Miller, who has been with Conley, but he's moved up as a partner now. So he comes and presents the audit findings afterwards.
But the ones that come to oversee the young
Tara,
ones,
she's the one.
they have experience.
Aaron's there for, yes.
Okay.
Aaron's there for questioning if needed. Tara comes to oversee the audit. Then the others, Annie, this will be her second year that she's came. The rest will be all new ones this year. And most of them are pretty, I mean, you get, as long as the elected officials get them the information that they need. We have had issues where some of the elected officials don't get them their stuff that they need. And, I mean,
Hard for them to do their job then.
yes, it is hard, but I can't make an elected official do anything they don't want to do, so.
Well, it's nice to have the ones that know.
Yes, they are,
They
and they
know
are
the
very
job.
easy to communicate with. I mean, they're not difficult to work with at all, if there's questions about it. if I have a question or concern about something, I immediately contact Aaron or Tara and they address it right away. So
That's good.
I don't have any concerns about it at this time. It may be something we might look into in the future, but I don't really feel like there's something that's necessary right now.
Good.
And they haven't asked for a 25% increase in
No.
cost or anything.
No, it's usually, I mean, it has increased, when we have to do a single audit because of having, receiving over $750,000 in other funding, state funding, which we don't have to do this year. We will whenever when we spend any of the ARP money, we will have to do a single audit. Because that was over 750,000, but because it hasn't been spent, we do not have to do a single audit. That costs more money, because of the more work that it entails. But as long as it's under, like the tech stop money we got for last year was only 527,000, so we don't have to do a single audit this year.
Court to discuss and consider adding EMS to the 8.15 mental health leave policy. And I need to apologize to EMS because that, I don't know why we didn't add that. That should have been added in my opinion, when we put this policy in place. Because they deal with all of the things listed under the traumatic event that you'll see on this policy, and they do it daily. Sometimes several times a day, and that will affect your mental health.
So all we did was change peace officer, first responder to encompass EMS, and change the definition to peace officers and EMT/paramedics to include them.
I make a motion, we add EMS to the 8.15 mental health leave policy.
So,
All in favor?
Thank you.
Court to discuss and consider participation and resolution in the Indo and Tivas Texas statewide opioid settlement agreements. Got these last week. And this is separate from the opioid agreement that we agreed to last time. These aren't quite as big. The Tiva is $8,174.79. Indo is $3,469.30. So, we don't, need to do much more than that, but, yeah, those, we just need to agree if we want to get those funds from there, that, Texas Attorney General's office is leading all of that. And that book that you have gives you all the information about that.
I think that we need to consider the participation and resolution in the Indo and Tiva Texas statewide opioid settlement agreement and allow the judge to sign as needed to get that done.
please.
All in favor? Thank you. Court to discuss and consider a resolution for the criminal justice grant program for the Edward C. Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant. We did everything but the resolution. Allowed them to go out for the grant, but we did not sign a resolution, and that is one of the requirements for the grant. It's been submitted, but we can still add this resolution to it and still be considered for that grant.
Okay, I'll make the motion, we approve the resolution for the criminal justice grant program.
Second.
All in favor?
Second.
Terry.
It does.
Church.
Ladies first.
All right, court to consider approval of line item transfers and budget amendments.
There's only one line item transfer and one budget amendment.
Hey, Brian,
Yes.
I'll get that to you this afternoon.
Okay. Just waiting for something.
Okay, thank you.
The line item transfer is for the district judge, out of law books into office supplies. And the budget amendment, this is, we received the funds for the ambulance, it was one of the ambulances that it had went over on its side, correct? And then the engine messed up we know what mixes and it's just been one thing after another, but it's finally,
It's
he finally
healed,
has it now.
healed, and it's back on the road.
Yes, so we received bills for it, and so we're placing the money that we received, 24,251.19 into his auto expense line. And then a supplement for 3,981.58 has been submitted, and TAC is sending that money, so, put it in budget amendment so we can pay for those costs.
Make a motion that we approve the line item and the budget transfer.
All in favor?
I'll get it right. You did.
Accounts payable.
Accounts payable $790,442.30.
Resolution to pay bills.
All in favor? We'll go ahead and go into executive session, pursuant to personnel matters. Start with Mr. Jason.
I can go last.
You
I've
wanna go
gone
last?
first every year, so I'm.
You wanna go last?
I'm gonna yield the last.
We'll switch it up. Let's
Thank
go
you.
to David Coates now. Yeah.